Welcome back, everyone, to ESL One Birmingham, the UK's first ever Dota 2 major. I'm never going to get tired of saying it either. We are in our second quarterfinal, our last quarterfinal of the day. Tied up at 1-1 right now, but we've seen some very good performances throughout the day. Maybe one of those performances has persuaded you to vote for them. In the MVP vote by Mercedes, of course, it's been a very popular MVP vote. We've had already 2 Virtus Pro players have won the previous 2. Is anyone else going to win an MVP at this particular event that isn't from Virtus Pro? Make sure you get your vote in right now. Gents on the panel, have you had any pointers, any kind of advice you want to give anyone that wants to vote early? Any standout players so far?
Where are you at, South America?
Is it all South Americans on your list right now? HFN?
I'm a Tavo or HFN. King RD, go, spam, vote.
Ted, you got have you seen anyone that stood out for you and you thought, oh, they're really good?
Everyone looks really good to me.
When you're 2K, Ted, everyone does.
3K.
Sorry, 3K. Come on. I didn't realise you jumped ahead of me.
Yeah,
Will?
Probably no one.
No one at all?
The player.
Oh,
the player.
Yeah, it's an obvious joke. Right?
Far too obvious. I was in there with you, Ted, as well. Yeah, he's. I mean, it's hard to not pick one of the Virtus Pro guys because they've just been so fantastic so far.
Yeah, I think Virtus Pro is likely to win this tournament. I think it'd be hilarious if they just kept collecting Benzes. I feel like no one probably deserves it the most anyways to begin with, so why not?
Yeah.
It all works out.
Do you know there's a secret pool amongst the players, the first player to collect 2? It's like the 2 TIs. Can you get 2 Benzes?
I saw that no one voted for Solo.
Really?
Oh yeah, he tweeted
That's
it.
respect.
How you liking paneling with 3 dads, Will?
It's weird. It makes me feel there's like a longing.
A longing?
Oh wow.
It's okay.
No.
William,
Like a
William,
longing.
come here. It's fine, Will.
Thank you, Father.
It's all good. Yes, we are going to get back into our third and final game in just a moment. Of course, the players have returned. They're all getting themselves ready. We're also getting ourselves ready. I hope, Alan, for a more spectacular third game. Am I hoping too much?
No, I don't think you are. I don't think we've seen either of these teams play at their S tier yet. I think we've seen 2 very grindy games. I give a lot of credit to Fnatic for really hanging in there in that last one when I felt like they kind of could have folded up their tents. But I don't think that either team has played at the level that they've shown even in this tournament so far.
Yeah, it's been another solid series, Will, isn't it, from OG? But again, they're going to need something special, aren't they, for this last game?
Oh, absolutely. I feel like the last game was a winnable game. That'll be something that they're really disappointed in. You've got to clear your heads and say, still a best of 3, now it's a best of 1 for all the marbles. Even though they can't get points from this, I think it would be a really nice return to form for them. A lot of confidence building into TI as well.
Yeah.
No question. I mean, these guys have to be looking at Resolution and VGJ Storm making it all the way to the grand final of a major a week ago and saying, hey, we need some results here, guys.
Yeah. I mean, just on that, there's also a question in there of how did we not make that work?
Well, I've been saying this since Hamburg. Remember, we had this discussion on several panels that as the pool of good teams has gotten so much wider, it's become less about raw MMR and more about the fit of a player on a particular team.
Yeah.
I mean, the rest of this is not all we on Pain Gaming. Like we didn't come in and suddenly just make the team god tier. It's you have the right fit in a player and it makes all other 4 players better. It sounds trite, but it is very true.
Yeah. Ted knows all about that with Shane.
Yeah.
How about those potato farmers?
Exactly.
I've run into Shane on the pubs with the Ricky that he destroyed me with. He's horrible.
He's evil to play against.
He is.
Yeah.
But very entertaining.
Yes.
Well, not when you're playing against him.
Well, all right, fair enough.
But yes, when he's just streaming, that's fine. I don't mind that.
I've realized it looks a bit like these guys are my lawyers and I'm in court. It does look a bit like that. I didn't
Are you being represented well?
Well, I hope so.
Your Honor, my client pleads guilty to all charges.
No, he's fired. Will, it's all on you.
I got this one, man.
Okay, thanks.
All right, where are we going then? Draft number 3 between these 2 sides. Tied up. If you're just joining us, welcome to ESL One Birmingham. This is the last game of the night as far as the quarterfinals is concerned. Good news, though. We've got the entire weekend of Dota 2.
Oh, my goodness. And I think the biggest thing is if if OG are going to take that Night Stalker again, I just think they need a better plan for how he's going to be active during first and second nighttime. I mean, Jurex finished that game 0-6-6
Yeah, he did, yeah.
on the Night Stalker. And
I
a
feel
lot of
like
it was
every death he had was him getting caught out as well.
Well,
It didn't
I
feel
mean, that's
like-
going to happen, right? But the big thing is, like, as a support right now, especially, like, I don't care if you die. As long as you die on the other side of the map and you're making the enemy course feel pressure, go. Throw your body at it. But the problem is that you need to, when you're playing a Night Stalker lineup, the other team needs to fear you in those first two night times. And you just didn't feel that.
Yep, we may not see that come back in our third and final draft. Wonder what's going through that man's head right now.
I'm thirsty.
Good call.
That's why he just drank that waterfall.
That was brilliant, that was. So I wonder what this man's head's going through right now as well. Mr. Mad, he's been here before, well, obviously, with the coaching side of things. How different is it for him?
I think he, when I talked to him at, what was it, in January, what was that tournament? Captain's Draft? He told me, he was like, I enjoy coaching, it's nice, but for the most part, we've done it all, right? They've won a lot of majors together and stuff like that. And he's like, I really want to play. And I was like, does that mean that you wouldn't coach anymore? He was like, yeah, I think that is what that means eventually. And I think the opportunity for him to play came a lot sooner than he expected, and it's kind of worked out in their favor because we talked about the whole Rezo thing. Both teams benefited from that. OG did get better without Rezo as well. Like, it wasn't like when they had Rezo, they were setting the world on fire.
Do you think they should have been?
It's hard to say just because I think that Rezo on paper fits the kind of player that they need, but maybe it just wasn't a personality fit. Who knows? I feel like Rezo really gets along with any players at this point. I know he loves living in America, things of that nature, so it's a bit different from. Maybe it was just one of those things that don't fit for whatever reason. Wow. It's hard to say.
Look at the Darkseer respect ban.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Sanke.
Wow, okay. Well, those were the first two picks in the last game. And Fnatic you can't have them. They did extend their run as well, by the way, with those two. Unbeaten since 7-11 using the Darkseer, and 10-1 on the Sand King at the same time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, those are just such good heroes for their playstyle.
So
Wow, once again,
Leshrac is available.
Leshrac's in the pool. Bounty is still in the pool, ignored by the two teams.
Yeah,
in the
Bounty's
last
been
draft.
ignored all three games.
Yeah, it's just two teams that don't play that style. I mean, look at the length of the games. Look at the length of the games in this series compared to the other games that we've seen throughout the tournament. These are not two teams that are looking to skirmish constantly like we've seen from Pain and others in VP.
Yeah, should
There's
remind
the
people at
Leshrac.
home as well, by the way. As well to get that.
S4.
Yeah, first pick, Leshrac. The winner of this will play Optic Gaming in the semi-final tomorrow.
That is for OG their most picked hero over the last 5 patches. S4 is 12-5. You will not see, I will go out on a limb and say you will not see support Leshrac from OG.
I think that's a pretty safe bet.
I would love to read Aui's playbook. Just see what he's got in there. Oh, look, we can. Thank you, cameraman.
The wonders of 4K.
Right. Fnatic are going to take the DJ Night Stalker this time.
Yep. What did we see yesterday, Alan? There was a game where a team had a draft in game 2 that the other team basically stole 3
That was
heroes
that was the
and then
that was
showed
the
them-
Optic draft.
and then showed them how to
Yeah,
play with it.
yeah. They drafted the same 3 cores as in the previous game and said, hey, by the way,
Here's another hero that we haven't seen in this series, but it is a popular Fnatic pick, the ET.
yep.
I'm very enthused about that pick.
You like the ET? What do you like about it, Tim?
Very good team play hero. Very annoying. Sets up a lot. And his spirit thingy, whatever it's called, is a pain in the ass.
It brings up an interesting question, whether this might be a core Night Stalker or whether they're going to run the Elder Titan in the 5 position. Typically it is DJ that plays it, but Paladai does have some games in the hero in the past. On the hero in the past.
Well, where is the ET right now in the meta?
I think it's an okay hero. It's just sometimes hard to utilize just because there feels like there's better fours nowadays. Like the other fours just feel a little bit more active.
Also feels like it really needs the right lane. It feels like if it ends up in a lane against, say, a lifestealer, it's just really, really suffering.
Gosh.
Oh, wow. Okay. So that has not been an OG staple. 0-1. We've seen a bit of Chen in this tournament, I believe, from VP.
Yeah.
It's been a sporadic pick.
VP picked it against
times.
OG.
Yeah. Oh, and it's Chen lost a lot of value, of course, after the multiple changes to how creeps in the offlane work and his send back.
Yeah, we've seen it 5 times so far. It is on one in Birmingham. Team Spirit have played it.
They went 1-1 with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has anybody outside of OG or has anybody outside of Spirit or VP played it?
Optic.
Oh,
No,
okay.
OG against Optic.
OG. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, that was in the best of 1 round robin for the winners spot. They played that with a Disruptor, a Gyro, an Ember, and a Naga. It was a last pick Naga as well.
Huh.
Not with the Lesh.
Yeah, and they lost that game.
Yeah.
Again, you risk getting into this situation like in the last game where if Jarax isn't able to really affect the lane equilibrium or the early mid game, that his impact in these late game team fights is going to be really limited again. And that advantage shifts sorely over the side of Fnatic.
Yeah, I'm sure he goes to bed dreaming every night that Earth Spirit gets some buffs.
Yeah. They've tried to make that hero work, but
Yeah, and if anyone can, it would be him.
it's a shame what's happened to Earth Spirit. The meta's just shifted in such a way that really hurt the hero.
So, luck and ban for Fnatic, Ember for OG.
There's the trophy, right? So yesterday when we were having a look around, I just saw it in a back room, just sitting on a table, just chilling. It looks much better now. They polished it up and everything.
Yeah, so small sample, but Fnatic have not played a lot of Night Stalker. They've lost their last 5 games on the hero going back to, I mean, they haven't won with it with this roster.
It says on Dota he's been banned 30 times, Night Stalker.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
It's a hero that Liquid had been showing a lot of, and I think teams just started to really fear it.
Yeah, Pain Gaming have actually banged it in every series.
Every game, yeah.
Every game they played, yeah.
It's kind of hard right now to draw too many conclusions.
Yeah.
You mean from the 2 that we've seen on both sides?
Yeah, it's interesting
Doesn't
because
compete.
Yeah, the draft is really open.
you see what Fnatic have chosen in the past, and they don't. I haven't seen them do the NSET combo,
No.
much less pick ET in quite some time. And OG, they had it picked against them, and they picked it once against Optic, but they got ran over in that game. But I guess they didn't have the Lesh Strike in that one.
I think Fnatic have to be thinking about a gyrocopter with their 3rd pick, especially with LGD having shown the power of that gyro ET dual lane. Could always go back for Dragon Knight, of course.
Yeah, Gyro seems a pretty safe bet at
Shadow
some point.
Demon.
SD this
Okay.
time, okay.
Oh.
So
So
core
it's a
Night
core.
So it is core NS.
Wise rest. Are you surprised they didn't leave that until one more pick later to kind of disguise the fact that Night Stalker is going to be a core?
No, because they want to know more of what OG showed.
Okay.
Right. Well, an
so
OG
let's
take
have
the
it too
Dragon
much.
Knight.
So at this point, you have a reasonable idea. Like you could just straight up take Abed's hero right now, which is what they did last time, right? When they grabbed the Ember. You know what the mid matchup's going to be, and that's usually what you wait for if you're Fnatic.
Yeah. Well, do you though know what the mid matchup is going to be? Because you could have Leshrac or Deacon mid.
Yeah.
That's part of the problem.
I think the Ember ban from OG was kind of a giveaway because he didn't want to have to put like Ember against Leshrac. I figure he's not like Ember all right against that. Doesn't care about the magic damage so much. Do you think Ember Lesh as a mid matchup?
Or maybe that's the mind game, Tim.
I think doesn't Lesh crush it?
Yeah, he should.
I feel like it does.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem that I worry about for Fnatic here is that you risk, okay, I like the DP because I don't want to see a repeat of game 1 where your last 2 picks are just extremely heavy scaling, extremely greedy, and you just don't have any tower push through those first 3 picks. You still don't have great wave clear as Fnatic.
What's their initiation here with OG?
Just feels so
Like, what are they looking for?
Can start fights with DK stun. He almost always just gets blink. And that's the benefit of having a hero like DK. So
He
just
can
gets in the
survive,
thick of
right?
things.
Yeah.
He won't just get blown up when he blinks in. They have good push right now, but I'd like to see them get at least like one more follow-up stun hero. But you can save that. You can get something, I don't know, you can take something like a Lion.
I
as a
like
5.
Lion a lot. Okay.
Oh, Omni.
Well, a lot of sustained.
So they're just, instead of going for the playmaking factor, they're just going to sit strong and run at you.
And take your buildings.
Yeah, so they've gone for the other end of that.
And it's funny how a lot of the heroes that Omni doesn't like playing against, like the Rubik, just don't fit anymore, so. So wait a minute, who plays what here for OG? You gotta believe it's S4 Leshrac, so.
Yeah. So, presumably...
Who's on the Omni night?
Mad?
I don't know.
Have I seen a fly Omni before?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering about. That's what I'm wondering, whether this is going to be some kind of support Omni.
Interesting.
I mean, it could also just be a simple explanation that they're going for a non-S4 Lesh.
Yeah. It's hard to see them going away for something that's been so successful, but if they really think they have the right core matchups, and I mean, Guardian Angel against Exorcism is...
Fnatic think, though, that all 3 cores have been taken.
Yeah. I mean, Exorcism is the only damage right now on Fnatic.
I mean, ET is really strong.
That's true. That's true. But he's just so reliant on getting that perfect teamfight setup.
And the benefit is that Envy will get the absolute last pick in this game, so he can see everything. That's why you like having the DP in that position, because it doesn't change anything. You see your mid matchup, whereas Envy, once he sees the last pick, he'll know, like, this is the game that I'm going to play. These are the type of heroes.
Yeah. No, I mean, it kind of automatically makes it easier to execute in some sense. And DP's not scared of either DK or Leshrac mid.
Yeah. Oh, so OG take the spec?
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Wow.
Support on me. Oh, maybe even support Leshrac.
Yeah, I was going to say Lesh check.
Maybe even support Leshrac, which is such a new look from OG. I don't know about that.
There's a little smile behind S4 there. He's kept them guessing on the Fnatic side. They were banning out a support for these 6, which they meant that they read that as 3 cores are already picked.
And now I wonder if they picked Spectre anticipating that Slark was on the table for Fnatic.
Could take Morph still, too. It's one of the better ways to deal with Omni.
God, how do you get in, though, as Fnatic? Starting fights feels so awkward with Morph. I mean, you talked about the lack of playmakers on the Fnatic side in the last game. Will, do you think they're going to have enough of that here, regardless of what they pick for Envy?
I think it's not as necessary, because OG also have some issues in that regard.
Okay. I guess, all right, the Morph again, yeah.
I think it's a good Morph game. You get to play against the Omni. He's nice against a lot of those other heroes. And this time around, he's got like somebody that can frontline for him. Whereas in the past, it felt like in the previous game, he had to make space with the Ember, but DP is a different hero just because DP needs one defensive item in the Yules, and she can create space for herself and take fights. I think Envy was put in a really weird position in that game where he was like, well, I guess I have to fight.
Right.
I can't really build damage.
Okay, let's very quickly go down the line. Alan, which way?
Start with Will, please.
Will, which way?
Ted.
Okay, I told you. You guys rely on me so you can pick the other thing. I'm going to say OG because I think I like their pushing lineup, and I'm just going to say OG.
Ted says OG.
So Ted told me in the hallway, he said, Will, you should always support me and back me up because I'm always right. And then he ended up being
right,
incorrect.
Almost right.
He was right. So Will goes with OG.
No, I will go for Fnatic.
Yeah.
Unequivocally.
Okay.
I'll go Fnatic as well.
Okay.
Can't wait to rub your faces.
Okay, some needle developing here. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, for our final game in our last quarterfinal. OG versus Fnatic.
To quote a beautifully generic phrase, it all comes down to this. Game 3, Fnatic versus OG. Fnatic desperately trying to have their last chance to get DPC points. They need to reach the finals to really make a great run for those top 8 positions to the 10 TI. OG, its pride, its confidence, while they can't make the points, they can still make waves in this community. Will it be possible for either side? How do you feel at Perch? Looking at these drafts, the panel is against Ted as always. Who are you for?
I really like what Fnatic's going for this game. It seems like they have a lot of the solutions that they need to beat OG heroes. I especially like the Shadow Demon pick this game. Demonic Purge, the biggest change to it was that it does a dispel for the entire duration of 7 seconds. And against a Chen, that means if you go on one guy, he cannot be sent back no matter what. You can break Yule's Scepters, it's going to break Guardian Angel. It just seems like it's going to really help them kill one hero. And that damage amp from Soul Catcher, as well as having an Elder Titan, I feel like Fnac's just going to be able to blow up one guy at the start of every fight.
You know, I could definitely see that, but I can also see a lot of power that comes out from the OG lineup. Latrak has had an amazing success rate throughout this entire tournament. With that early pushing power that can also combo with Jirax, I feel a little bit more strength in this to then create space for Spectre to actually do a lot of work too.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. I definitely agree with their ability to pressure is going to be strong. Jirax actually picking up Penitence here, going to just constantly zone his enemy support, it looks like. And
Attempted bounty steal is all that was. Okay, maybe when DJ's managed to steal plus 30 damage, he's happy to hit into no-tail, but you got Purification, Fly. Oh, okay, DJ. As a big boy, but he, that's like he would float like a butterfly, he'd float like a brick.
Would have been a lot more damage if they landed the stun. But either way, Pilot Eye trading hits with Jirax here, getting a bunch of poison stacks. Not a terrible trade for these guys though, because Jirax is going to be able to deward the Sentry Ward here. They've got tons of regen picked up. Ooh, broke just in time on Jirax. That would have been bad if you got a 5-stack.
Just penitence, penitence, penitent. The penitent man will pass.
He's getting outplayed a little bit here. This could be a little dangerous. This Tango's going to last for a while here, but Pi will spend the mana most likely to guarantee a 4-stack. Nope, he's going to hold it on.
He's holding it. He had his clarity, which was cancelled by Jirax, so he may be a little bit more defensive about doing such a thing.
He's just going to stand here and block the large camp. That way Chen doesn't get easy Holy Persuasion. But
this bottom lane should also be a lot more fun for Eternal Envy once Fly hits 2. Because I'm thinking, like, you're talking about Eternal Envy being a guy who normally sits a lot more on Agi than on the strength. How's he meant to play that lane against Lightning?
Against Lightning, it'd be a little harder, yeah, for sure. Like that's definitely the thing costing them here. They try to use Split Earth to get the bounty steal, and they missed it, and now he can't even harass as effectively. So this is certainly costing them.
DJ, Fly just baits the stun. He's got 3 mangoes and 2 tangos on that ET, so regeneration through the roof. Seb is copying so much damage, and Jirax can't get a creep. He went Penitence first, so he's gone full lane harass, but he has no units to actually help out, and the ones when he can get it, you get an Alpha Wolf and you've got the Kobolds. and ogres. They don't even action creeps. The Satyr is so far back inside the Dire jungle. It's the only thing he can reach later on.
I mean, I don't blame him very much for getting Penitence here because he needed to create some space for the Spectre to farm, but this has been a very slow ramp and it's making the Chen pick just not look very useful here.
Yep.
He does pick up level 2 with the small pull, so it's going to give him a little space here, but with Shadow Demon pressuring, he's going to have to walk very far to grab a creep.
Yeah, he needs the Satyr. Once he has the Satyr, this top lane is going to become a lot nicer for OG just because you get that base regeneration that's going to help him out, not to mention the nuke.
And they're just going to be able to bully the Night Stalker a little bit with this, which is sorely needed because Spectre's only got 3 Tangos left.
Fly gets the stun on bottom lane. Morphling, a little bit of trouble. In fact, a lot of trouble. Purification just hit so hard after Fly gets the stun. OG just capitalized so quickly, then up towards the top. SD gets run down. I said once they had the nuke, it would be a lot nicer from Jirax, and well, nicer it is. They combo together, and OG have 2 kills on the board.
A little damage amp, a little double nuke, and all of a sudden Shadow Demon gets pressured, and all that early trading is now going to bite him a little bit. He actually doesn't have very much money left over. Just kidding, it's literally all on the trigger. He's going to be okay. Plenty of regen and back to fight on the top lane.
It's that mana, it's that damage increase, right? On the Spectral Dagger, working the way for OG, hitting into Universe once again, Penitence, and then the dagger connects. Seb, that's very, very deep underneath the tier 2 tower, 2 deep Pilot Eye, wants to create a couple of extras. Jirax, TP's out very, very safely, but unfortunately for him, he went back to base and already had too many poisons on him.
I'm not sure if he got experience there or not, but he is almost level 3 now on the Shadow Demon. Either way, dead hero. Pressure continues. No Tail burning through a couple salves here.
I know you said like OG should be like heavily pressured with that Night Stalker, but that kind of felt a little deep.
I mean, yes, they're just kind of dealing damage. It was just more just that Jirax is not respecting Shadow Poison enough, I feel like. But he does need to be in the lane because if he doesn't go there, then Spectre is just not going to get as many last hits as he should. He's 16-2 at the moment, so it's going okay, but not an overwhelming advantage.
Yeah. They try and get more out of the bottom lane, but it's been a good lane for Envy as far as the denies go. 11 denies against the dual lane of Fly and No-Tail. No-Tail's got the same amount of CS as him. Very difficult. When you've got that spirit of DJ, he's gone the 1-2 build, so no points up for the natural aura for this lane.
It's not too uncommon, especially when they have to worry about...
Hit by the Star Purification, there's the hit! And DJ's been a real nuisance, but Eternal Imp, he cannot save his support hero in such situations.
Fly landing the stuns when it matters now. So now this lane is just going super well for OG. I think they're going to be very happy with this dual off lane. In fact, the biggest last hitter, by the way, 28 last hits on S4 right now on Dragon Knight.
Look towards top lane as here comes Jirax. Penitence out once more, but actually Seb already used the dagger for early harassment. I thought with the Alpha Wolf they'd have more damage to work with, but it's not happening.
Yeah, mostly they need mana and the ability to right-click their opponents for this to go well. The Shadow Poison is still mattering for sure. But the wand pickup here is going to offset a lot of that gold. And they grab the bounty ring. This could be Jirax dying. No.
Yeah,
it's going to buy some time.
That's 3 stacks of level 2 Shadow Poison. Make that 4
reading
stacks with the Void. Jirax, there should be a popping top. In fact, that's exactly what happens. Pilot Eye claims his 2nd kill of the game and the only kill so far that Fnatic has managed to achieve.
Well, this is definitely one hero that fell under the radar a little bit in his ability to lane. I was definitely talking crap about Shadow Demon, but I mean, he has a bigger mana pool now because of his int. He does have an okay int game, so he's just spamming a lot of Shadow Poisons and making the skill look good here.
How long until OG start to change this up though? Like, No-Tail's having a good time on bottom, but obviously they want to keep Eternal Envy down.
I think they're doing that. I mean, he's got 14 last hits. He also has 13 denies, but considering this is a dual off lane, as long as he's not getting gold, I think that's the bigger issue here. Because Morphling doesn't just get levels and necessarily catch up on farm with that. He needs to grab items that cascade him into the next bit of farm.
Things coming out towards the top as Night Stalker. We are in nighttime, harassing into Seb. He'll bring in the creep wave too. Jirax didn't find the opening. He smoked up looking for a fight.
Is he
but
dead?
Doesn't find it on tops and, well, underneath the tower. TP out. No, he's not. Universe comes a lot of damage, but it's mid lane where the stun comes onto Arbed. He gets Spirit Siphon off, but not a lot of charges. He was already being aggressive into S4 before. That's why there was nothing left in the tank. And the Death Prophet of Arbed goes down. Jirax claiming that one.
So it seems like OG's basically getting everything they want, except for Seb getting a free farm lane and as many levels. So their safe lane's not going the best, but due to nice plays, S4's winning mid, and the dual off lane's also going well. So I don't think OG should be too upset here. But it's kind of an equal trade if you look at the heroes that are getting under farm. Both teams carries, just having some issues basically.
Envy is just like switching between that Agi and Morph so heavily, hoping that he'll be protected by those infused raindrops.
So just getting back to the lane now from having to teleport back home. On the bright side, Universe is a little bit low on health, so he can't pressure as hard as he could a moment ago. Jarek's getting creeps here. He's got boots as well, so he can actually get away
He's
from
got helps, Penitence onto Universe. Remember, you've got that Shatter Blast, plus actually the Clap's already on cooldown. SD has 3 stacks of poison. He actually has to banish him, puts the 4 stacks up. Guaranteed Jirax dead with Universe coming in from the side of Highlight Eye. This is a big kill for Seb to take. He's actually killing them off with Dispersion too. Only 1 point in it, but it was hurting onto him. Hadouken does not connect. So Universe can run away to safety.
If that lands, he can throw a follow-up dagger and secure that kill. So either way, Jarek's playing this pretty well. He's creating a lot of space, forcing his opponents to be very active and trying to kill him. And if he's dying, I don't think it's that big of a deal because that's at least a little bit more space for Spectre to have. Rushes for the fast treads just to get a little bit more out of his first 1,000 gold. Probably better than an Aquila to rush here. More mana, more right click, more farm, although he's, again, got to worry about the Shadow Demon. He goes for a Disruption. It's a 4 stack right now, looking for the 5th. I don't think it's going to kill him, but it's going to get him low.
He's got 11-1 charges, so he's got to time this right. Whoa, that damage out of 39. God. He actually times it perfectly, but can he get the kill? No, yes he can. The creep wave was there to help. Meanwhile, on bottom lane, the dive has begun. This is why that opening was created, because Jirax moves down with no towel and fly. Stun will connect, Climb Purification, still Envy. Oh, the damage! He drops to 1, but Fly's lightning reaches just far enough to find the kill.
Very good for OG that they secure that kill because Seb getting solo killed by a support is not a good thing there. It was very, very close at the end, but that was a huge play. Now he's going to have to go back to the lane and lane against this Night Stalker who has more harass, more nukes, and this is not where you want to be on a Spectre.
They're actually jumping the lane, so Seb heads towards the bottom lane. Instantly Envy switches to the top lane, so both ones wanting to dodge each other. The stomp is nice onto Jirax. Arbed, Nesty close the distance, and Jirax, not a lot he can do here. Throw Hadouken, but still, he'll end up dying. Too many poison stacks on him, and the attacks from DJ will finish the job.
It's a good pickup, but still only a level 4 hero. He's also got his 2 creeps on the map.
Some good damage onto the T1 tower on bottom. Because Fnatic was looking for the kill, they never really stopped this push from happening. They sent Omni-Knight to the top lane from OG, so he's the one defending that Tier 1 tower's looking for a nice trade-off. Maybe not the greatest thing in the world if Night Stalker gets over, but Fly doesn't hit the stun. Morphling was already strength morphing up. He's got 10-1 charges. They want to fight. Darkness out from Universe. Gets the slow down onto Omni-Knight with the Void. Doesn't actually have that crippling fear to do enough work. As Omni-Knight back underneath the tower. Purification not available yet as the ET Adaptive Strike Stone 3 HP. Wait for him from Envy. Will finish the job, but Seb, he has the ability to haunt himself in, looking for the fight. Who does he want? He wants Eternal Envy. Of course he does. And there is so much support with the Breathe Fire. Dragon Tail stun, anything to just slow him down. They'll find the kill. Eternal Envy falls. Elder Titan's still on the run. Penitence available. Just needs to get up the hill. They lost the vision. It's nighttime, so those observer wards and just the vision of the heroes, it's not enough. And it wears out just as DJ runs away.
It was a very good dive by them, though. Securing the kill on no-tail was very effective, but the turnaround was a little bit too strong for OG, so I think they're going to be content with that trade, but in the meantime, Fly could go down.
Yeah, SD with that purge. No-tail tries to protect him. The stun is there on Death Prophet, but Repel will not protect you from the Exorcism. Too much damage on that front. But they're still looking to fight top lane OG. They have the Observe Wards, a really good vision. DJ, Penitent, slow him down. They got the Banisher as well. As fights on both sides. The Night Stalker ran up, and Jirax a little bit too deep now. But forces the TP out. SD's already here. But 3 players from Fnatic, all around 50% HP total.
Would have been a really good catch there to kill the Elder Titan, but it's pretty hard when Jirax only has 2 creeps like this. Still only level 4 for him, so been lacking in experience. But the tower does end up getting killed. It was a deny, so not the best, but opening up the map like this is still really advantageous because if Seb ends up shifting back to the top lane, it's a lot safer for him to get last hits, and the enemy off lane isn't going to feel as comfortable playing aggressive. So this might transition him into a Radiance a little bit faster. But across the board, actually, pretty low amounts of last hits this game. But both teams are just so good at contesting last hits, and they've done a great job rotating around for kills.
Yeah, it's the rotations and the net worth which can come from these kills too. As far as the net worth goes, OG still control 3 of the top 4 slots, with the only one from Fnatic being in that is Arbed, that Death Prophet. Surprisingly enough, with no kills, 1 death and 2 assists. And Exorcism's on cooldown, they can add some pressure towards the mid lane. It looks like finally OG will claim that bottom tower. They have Edict from Fly if they really want to like push it properly.
Doesn't necessarily want to reveal right away that he's here. If somebody TP's in, that's a kill possibility. But at this point, Fly's just going to transition into a semi-core here.
Double TPs onto mid as Jirax got initiated on, purged, captured, poisoned.
He does not care about that in the slightest.
Not unless there was a follow-up. Oh, Morphling actually goes to bottom lane. He's going after Fly. Fly hasn't finished the job on this tower, so he's got to stun him, finish off the tower, and then TP out, available, adaptive strike. It is off cooldown, but Envy will not continue the chase. Instead, he probably looks back towards mid, which is where DK, S4, pops Dragon Form. Will add the pressure. The trade-off is Universe taking up the tier 1 tower on top lane. And OG, they actually need the creep wave in mid to make that work, and they do not have it.
Either way, decent rotations from OG. They're getting a lot out of the heroes they do have. Leshrac taking a tower by himself. That's a support who's now level 8 with an urn and a wand, getting relatively tanky. And in the meantime, Spectre's also just hitting neutral creeps here. He's got 2,000 gold in the bank. No Aquila, just trying to rush a Radiance as soon as he can get it. And once he picks that up, teamfights are going to be so much easier for OG because they can just pop Haunt and then run in and follow up on the enemies.
The support is under attack. Fly with Universe behind him. DJ can't get close enough. Nominize made the turn around.
Good self usage here. Keeps him full. He doesn't have to go back to base. He can hide a little bit and just try to sit behind his cores. If he can succeed in just following up and defending whoever gets gone on, he'll get an urn charge follow-up and then ideally can dive. So Fly's in a great position right now, honestly. He can actually just scale into a normal core position if he gets effective use out of his team fight. And then maybe force Jerax to play a sort of 5 position on Chen since he's behind. I think that might be the better pathway here for OG.
Yeah, let Jerax just creeps do most of the work. As long as he can keep his army alive, which in this case, he didn't.
He is keeping them busy a little bit, but Smoke Pop, they're going to be looking for him now.
No, they're going to be looking for Seb. They got to keep the gank up. They cannot allow this spec to continue to farm up. You're at you're only 1,200 gold away from completing it in Universe. The Smoke popped.
Oh, they're dying.
Chen's nearby. They are going all the way in on him, but underneath the tier 1 tower is ballsy when Jirax is the neighborhood.
That actually wasn't even bad. They hit him with 2 nukes. He's at half HP. Now he has to walk back to Fountain anyways. It looked like they were going to dive him. They didn't waste Haunt. They were really trying to force him out of his comfort zone there, but he held strong.
So they put down aggressive wards from Fnatic, keeping closer eyes on the farming areas of OG. They got 2 great wards, so one just watching the Ancients on the bottom, and the other one is deep inside the Dire jungle, just to the south of that tier 2 tower.
Do you see Omniat's skill build this game? Or item build? He just instantly rushed a Blink Dagger. Not going to go for the typical semi-tanky, not going for a hybrid core. He is literally just there to move around and heal people, most likely. Because if he does this successfully, if he keeps Seb alive in these team fights, if he prevents him from dying in these ganks, that means Radiance comes faster, and that means their team fight win condition comes faster.
I suppose he doesn't really fear as much like the Morphling if he's ready to jump in too.
I mean, by the time Morphling gets items, he's also going to have his follow-up item and be defensive. But like the Purge, for example, is just so effective at killing people anyways because of the Dispel, and they have so much amp from Elder Titan and Soulcatcher. Like one tanky item like a Vanguard or a Hood, it's not really going to keep him alive anyways. The Blink is just better in this case. You can just follow up and defend his allies.
Arbej managed to take 1 tower. S4 is going to claim the one in the middle, so tier 1 for tier 1, tip for tap.
They might try to kill Spec here though. There's a disruption.
Yep, and they got the catcher as well. No Purge, however. So already moving back a little bit further, the Shadow Demon's over in the tree line. Leshrac will get rid of all of the illusions, a very easy Pulse Nova to do so. And SD did TP all the way home, so this fight is done. Unless Arbej wants to get in on it.
They're still doing a great job pressuring though. I mean, OG didn't really overreact too much. I think that was the time to teleport, but they're not spending that many resources. It's offlane Night Stalker. He's not gonna scale into a great farming position. He's here to try to shut down his opponents, try to make them feel uncomfortable, reduce their farm speed. And just using a support and him to accomplish that while still staying in the lane afterwards has certainly worked out here.
These 2 obs, we're flagging them before on the stream, and they just see everything. The gank from OG wasted time. The Blink Dagger was also revealed. Everything, all the information that Fnatic needs to make the correct choices on this map. And they even got themselves an Arcane Rune on the Death Prophet, so she can burn her Exorcism and have it back very quickly. Only 100 seconds on the cooldown, and okay, finally, they're smoking up. They're coming over underneath their own 2 Observer wards. They see both the Omni and the Spectre farming up, and that's 3.4k. He needs another 400 gold here, Seb. in order to reach it, and he's going to come up short. 3.5k needs 300 gold, and here they come. Exism committed into the Spirit Stomp. They want him dead, and they got him dead. No way for OG to reply in time.
That was such an easy kill.
And we're going to pause to remember.
Well, they pinged the tier 2 bottom. This is an okay idea. I don't know if it's going to work out necessarily how they want it. I mean, OG did lose their Spectre, but they didn't lose Haunt. They didn't lose any other ultimates, whereas Abed is now going to have to run all the way down to the creep wave. Fnatic is frantically trying to push this with Universe on Night Stalker, but he's a auto-attacking hero during daytime. By the time they get to this tier 2 tower, this Exorcism is pretty much gone, or at least like more than half gone. So I don't even think OG cares that much at this point. Obviously, it'd be great to have him stay alive, avoid that gank, but this isn't going to translate into a tower. At best, what it's doing is buying time for Morphling and maybe for Death Prophet to farm a little bit.
Yeah. It buys time as well for Jirax to catch up. This poor Chen, who's being crippled most of this game, he's 2 levels behind everybody else.
That's
okay.
okay.
The SD, but yeah, he's back into the jungle. He's building up cash.
He's got level 6. That's all he really needs. He's got Medallion ready, so yes, he's still a little limited on the ability to send people back, but he's got enough creeps that he can push out lanes. He can pop a heal for his team. He's fine.
I like how Fnatic are hanging around. So they're using the Exism to farm up the double stack of Ancients that were there. Pulling the creep wave over as well. Fortification from OG is being burnt, just to keep the creep wave alive and chasing a little bit longer.
That was a cool way to deal with it. Just pop the glyph. That delays Exorcism. Really solid decision making.
And the tier 1 tower is pretty close to death in mid lane anyway, so once that's down, they got it back again. Bottom lane, Notel blinking forward, looking to body block and slow up Universe. They can purify as well with the Breathe Fire. Tons of farm, tons of damage, and there's the stun from Fly to cancel the TP back out again. So Universe, he should fall. He'll go into the trees, blink forward. Notel had to use it again to catch him. But Universe does go down.
So this was slightly costly. Seb did use his Haunt to show up down here, trying to get the kill, went to farming, but now instantly, Fnatic had already rotated Shadow Demon top, Envy stayed top, and now they're going to be able to pressure this tower. And they had just teleported the Spectre to the bot lane, so he's not going to be able to get this easy farm.
Yep. All DK can do is just reduce the damage, didn't hit with the Breathe Fire onto Eternal Envy.
I mean, I guess this works as well. S4 takes the last hits, that'll contest the lane, and just Seb's going to be in a slightly more dangerous position, being on the enemy side of the map, but I guess with Fnatic top, that's less of an issue. He does have Relic money, though, so making his way.
The Courier just bought it. Unfortunately, the Courier is also flying right over the top of a Radiant Ob, so they know they're alone, but the deeper wards from OG scout everything else out. A Fishing Dagger.
I love how he did that. He didn't click on the Elder Titan because that would reveal that there's a ward there, but he threw it in that angle knowing that his opponent would think that, oh, this could kind of just look like I'm scouting. Because if he just instantly runs away, D-ward comes. If he throws the dagger on Elder Titan, D-ward comes.
Yep.
So back to the jungle.
Yeah. Everyone needs to farm back up again, get a little stronger, but still, I love these Fnatic wards. It's a little bit further up away from that Dire Sentry, not in the hill. It's just like northeast of the shrine. So they always have information on OG's farm pattern, on the items that are arriving as well for them.
And S4's going about the exact same build he did the previous game too.
Armlet Blink.
Armlet Blink. Surely he'll get a BKB afterwards, but maybe he doesn't need it for a bit. It certainly didn't matter in the last team fight due to Omni Knight, but Omni Knight's farm is going to fall off now because he hasn't been just parked in a lane. Part of the negatives of having a Blink first is because you can't just sit in the lane and stay alive if you get ganked. He's kind of forced to play slightly more of a support role.
Yeah, and you actually see just how hard he's been moving around. So obviously very heavy on the bottom at the very beginning on that heat map, just because of how great they were getting those kills. But moving out after that, realizing friends need him.
They get a dire scan off, they find Pi.
Yep.
Great repel. This should be a kill.
Yeah, should be. Pylite Eye. Yep, down he goes. On the bottom lane too, Fnatic were looking for another pick-off. It was Jirax who was going over trying to contest out the bounty runes. Ended up getting 3 of the 4 bounty runes for OG, and Universe just...
Not his friends.
Well, farm the Chen army. At least they're not like dominated creeps.
That's true. Not that much gold lost there. And man, it must be nice to play a Leshrac here. You're like, I'm just going to buy items that make me fast with mana regen, and then the Omni just backs you up, drops the repel, and then you get a free BKB, which is usually the big weakness of support Lesh, but in these little moments, you can just,
Yeah, Seb's down, but he bought his Radiance about 30 seconds before his death.
Okay.
So he is going to still be okay with this. OG are looking for a rebuttal with a 4-man smoke up, sorry. They had the Blink Dagger on DK, so the first reveal, they're looking for the target, but Abed just TPs away to safety. So target is gone.
That was kind of a lot of gold to give the enemy team, though. Both of the heroes involved picked up about 400. So that means Envy is Lincoln's on the way. And Universe as well, full pipe finished with an Urn of Shadows. So more tanky items to come.
This Fnatic vision is starting to get a little bit more barren on the field. So they have that one Observe Ward up on the Dire, inside the Dire jungle. OG established more vision towards the south. Without this vision, they do not know where OG is. Observer and Sentry smack bang in the middle lane. The smoke is already worn off. They're coming to Roshan, but it's too late. Roshan's died so quickly to Fnatic with their exorcism that by the time OG arrive, they don't want the fight, and that's what they're trying to force right now. Fnatic waveform up. Leshrac silence. He has one charges, and then maybe with the heal from Chen, he's still got the Hand of God available. Pilot Eye solo. There's the Omni Knight bringing in the GA and the Hand of God. They'll slap him back with the ET splitter, but Universe in trouble. Fly will catch him out with the rest of the team. The exorcism is already gone, and maybe they have enough damage. They're going through the Spectre. They bring him down, even without the ghouls to do it. They find the kill. They keep the pressure on. Envy waveforms forward. The man with the Aegis, the Immortal, coming nowhere near death.
It looked like a good fight for OG, considering that Exorcism was going to be running out or down in the team fight, but it just kind of was a chain reaction of not the best circumstances. Omni has to burn almost all of his heals just to keep the Leshrac alive due to him being focused, and then the Dragon Knight has been taking tons of damages. This is going to be a long period in this game, for example, when Death Prophet just does too much damage to Dragon Knight, at least until he gets BKB. So they take a good fight, they go about even, and no Aegis is killed either. So this advantage that Fnatic got from taking the Roche is going to continue.
Yep, up towards the tier 2 tower, continue the pressure on. Notel's trying to create the space. He's not as powerful as he was with his Lycan before, but down to the bottom lane, add some pressure, make Fnatic look behind themselves. But with an Aegis Immortal on Eternal Envy, it's going to be really tempting for Fnatic just to at least start to chip away at that tier 3 tower. No Horns available, Dragon Form on cooldown for 34 seconds. They just need some information inside the base. Observer Ward's a little bit too far away. In fact, they don't even have one, so they can't put it inside the base. But here they come. Waveform forward. Envy looks for the kill. Purification from Omni Knight. Gives that life back to S4. But he's having to toggle his way through. Eternal Envy, the Link Sphere gets triggered. But DK, he just goes down, purged up, unable to run away. And Fnatic, how deep do you want to go? Pretty damn deep. Envy jumps in, switches the DK, so he's got the stun to keep S4 controlled. Buyback in from Fly, as he's back to the world of the living. Get rid of the Tormentor. Seb has the Radiance, it needs to start that burn. SD, stun from Fly, it's good. That Lightning spam needs to start too, but then Pipe protecting Fnatic, allowing this push to sustain. Chen will come back, but without the army, he's not really that scary. But Fnatic still willing to retreat. They did some chip damage and they got what they wanted. A couple of buybacks and then retreat. Oh, yeah, a couple of buybacks. It was actually their SD buying back before that fight, Leshrac during that last one.
I mean, that's a moment of terror for OG right there. One more mistake and a hero going down, and that could just be the tier 3s, and maybe even a Rax afterwards, considering that they could leverage an Aegis to just continue their push as long as possible. But they'll get out on the map again. Almost a Blade Mill picked up for Spectre here. Not sure if this is the right way to go build-wise. I kind of feel like he should maybe pick up a Hood, perhaps, especially considering that he's up against an Elder Titan with all the magic amp, but it's kind of hard to say. There's just a lot of damage ampers here, and he's got to get to the survivable position to feel strong.
I'm still wondering how they have that damage. Like, talking about survivability, like how do they keep getting through the Morphling? It's like Eternal Envy. You'd think he's going to drop low, you try and get some disable, and then one charges kick in, and all of a sudden he's not as low as you thought he was.
Yep, and he can be covered too. Whenever you go on somebody, Elder Titan's going to drop the Spirit, go for an Echo Stomp, or he could get disrupted. Like, they've only got 2 good disables, basically.
They got Disruption, they got Glimmer Cape as well. Now to add to the list, SD's got Cash.
And they're weak on disables, so it's going to be even hard for them
Jump
to get
in mid, they go for the Yule Scepter, set up, Fly, connects on the stun, and DJ. Penitence at the end, okay. Spectral Horn, maybe they're looking for the rest of the team. They didn't find him, but this is OG barreling down mid. They need to make this really worth it.
This is their moment, at least, kind of. Oh, they got a kill.
Fly didn't connect on that stun. Needed the Yule Scepter once again to set up for him. Unfortunately, that was the ET who set himself up for it.
This is really hard to grab this kill, especially with Nice Dark ultimate being used. They've got 2 days during. It's 2 minutes daytime now.
Envy's in the back lines. He's just having a crack. Switches into the Dragon Knight. Goes after S4.
He's trying to get a stun off there.
Yep. Well, he's got it. Not that long though. Fly breaks the Lincoln Sphere. That's the Lightning going to work. Blade Mail is finally done for Seb.
But no Haunt. I do kind of feel like he really wasted that in the last engagement. He didn't necessarily know how many enemies would be there, but definitely felt a little premature. And knowing what we knew, looking from the top down, the Glory Vision, yeah, big waste, and now it's going to allow Fnatic to cross the map again. Still abusing this Aegis and their gold advantage.
They got a little bit more time left on it. Not that long, however. I think it's actually only got a couple of seconds left before it will time out. Fly starts the creep skip. Creep wave already moved in through the mid, so no backdoor regeneration, no fortification either for OG. So they need to slow down Envy, break that Lincoln Sphere, watch the timer for Aegis. And there it is. Time's out, but Fnatic get what they wanted. They take the tower, this opens up the shrines, and they can systematically move through OG side of the map and dominate it.
OG just doesn't feel like they're ready to fight yet. They were just kind of stabilizing with items, and all of a sudden the chain deaths kind of happened. The free Roche came out for Fnatic, and
maybe once you have the Manta on Sep, then you can Haunt on top of the SD, pop the Manta, go for these quick kills.
even that's pretty difficult if he Glimmer Capes and walks away or disrupts himself or you. It's going to put you in a bad spot. Lesh is kind of reliant on the repel from Omni Knight to even feel like he can walk into melee range. But I'm pretty sure if Morphling just jumps on him, he's going to right-click him to death. So there's just a lot of vulnerabilities on OG, and it doesn't really feel like they can stabilize him very well. Like the hero, I feel like Chen has felt very impactful in some of these fights. He stabilized the lanes, he pushed things out a little bit, but he felt delayed enough that it was hard for the other heroes to grab enough ground to grab farm. And now it's just difficult for him to even send back allies. Yep. So it feels like Chen can't accomplish very much right now other than Horus.
And his entire creep army keeps dying so quickly as well. So you can throw the Penitence, he can trigger the Lincoln Sphere on Eternal Envy. That's a nice part of it, but the Hand of God's almost as useful as the Omni Knight at this point. But that's an ultimate versus one item in the form of the Greaves.
Well, on the bright side, they've still only got a regular urn on Night Stalker, so a little bit less likely that he would be going for the super urn, but
Envy's coming
they'll
up.
get there eventually.
They'll clap him out. The tier 2 tower on bottom lane. The poison dots from DK will be enough to finish this, and now they start their TP back. So back to the front lines, pops the Blade Mail nice and early on.
That did like nothing.
It really
Night Stalker took like no damage from that due to his pipe.
Sentries, get rid of the obs.
I would really like to see Seb sitting on strength treads here. I just don't feel safe for him. Feels like he's constantly in danger here. Very low HP, he's got very high armor due to the ice armor and his allies nearby him, but
it's like he's really just looking for the kill the second the fight begins. So more aggression than anything else. The bottom lane is not pressuring hard enough for Fnatic to be concerned about this. The mid lane's also knocking on the tier 3 tower. Finally OG go down for it, but they're waiting out the Dragon Form. It actually wears off now. 53 seconds without that. Exorcism is available. And Arbed still not committing it just yet. The Lightning Span, they're having a real hard time keeping the creep wave alive more than anything else.
That's one way to hold on to things. They've got Haunt back up again. Pretty good Magic Wand on spec as well.
Just breathe fire, Lightning Storm, and nothing's really going to get close enough. Someone gets jumped on, you blink in with the Omni Knight.
Well, that's one good way they can delay the game. This is looking pretty decent for OG then. As long as they don't get caught in these circumstances, if they once they get an E-Blade on Morphling, in fact they have it, they have to be worried about getting bursted down. But if they can keep blasting these creep waves to prevent their opponents from going high ground without being in danger, then they can maybe delay this long enough and get Spectre really, really farmed.
Yeah, do you want to do that math? Like, can he actually survive the E-Blade blast?
Probably not, I imagine. He's going to block with, what, 22%, but he's going to reflect a lot of damage to Morphling as well, but it's a lot of damage.
Oh, right now, Fnatic being very, very patient. Oh, hello, Fly. He found himself a friend. Looking for the bounty rune. Universal will take it. Now, okay, friendship is over. TP out by Fly. He'll get back safely before the Void comes back off cooldown. But Fnatic are being as good about this as possible. 30 minutes in, all 4 bounty runes.
He didn't not want to be friends, he just wasn't in the right place for a friendship right now, that's all.
Okay.
Maybe later in the game.
Yeah, maybe when we're not colleagues. Well, Jirax, pop. They actually helped with the Void to get it.
Yeah, that's some damage. And that's a dead Chen. Leaving the base, that's what you get, man.
How much of value was really lost here for OG?
True. As long as his, does he have creep somewhere? Anyone? No?
No. I don't think he's got anything. Top lane, this will be a bigger loss. Seb gets hit by the Stomp. He turned the Radiance off, trying to make sure, I don't know if he was going under the Under the radar, Blade Mail goes on, and well, he reflects almost no damage. They did not care. And in fact, it's Abed who cares more. Hits with the Shivas, 3 players on the run, a 3-man silence and waveform. Eternal Envy has joined the fight, has the E-Blade, doesn't actually use the pop. Realizing he's going up against Notel, who will just out-heal it anyway.
Oh man, 60 seconds till Dragonite Ultimate runs out just to defend himself here, and he's still being pressured.
Now, the stun will connect on the Universe, but Morphling goes in deep, switches to Dragon Form, hits to breathe fire. That's one, that damage reduction. They need everything they can get. OG as the exorcism from Arbed. They charge forward. Flyers on the run, having to go all the way back into the fountain, but it's not stopping the spec. Straight forward, Blade Mail wears off, and boom! Well, goodbye, Jirax. It was nice to have you and nice to see you leave. So OG, full defense out the stomp. It won't connect. But the top racks is gone. I don't know if OG can really get any kind of exit kill at all here.
Man, with that pipe up, it just seems like Spectre does nothing. He's running into the team fight, but the Radiance alone just doesn't impact things. And it's just kind of mistake after mistake for OG here. Seb gets caught top, wastes Haunt, ends up dying anyways. Then S4 pops his ultimate early, but it didn't even matter. Fnatic just marches high ground, they take the barracks, there's a buyback from the Spectre. Now Spectre is not even close to top net worth.
And with Haunt down, they can look towards Roshan without having to be really afraid of it. Maybe not so committed to it with Exorcism also being down. This could create some level of problem, but the top lane will continuously pressure.
It just feels like there's almost no threat to Fnatic at this stage. Like, OG is not scaling into a position where their heroes are going to be super threatening. Like, Dragonite, yes, he's going to get a BKB, but it feels like they needed a BKB 10 minutes ago. I wonder if a build more like Abed's on Dragonite would have been better last game, something like a Shadow Blade, that way you could rotate around and get kills, but with their heroes, they just weren't gank heavy. Outside of like Spectre haunting or something like that, or like Leshrac rotating around for kills, they didn't really have a good way to set tempo, so it's kind of like the last game. They're just sort of sitting back, waiting for their farm condition to work out and trying to stabilize until then. But it's hard to do that without having the ability to gank.
Yeah, a lot of that pressure you're putting on is also on the supporters. Like we keep talking like Leshrac, like Fly is meant to be a core position in their lineup, but he's still just a support. But he's got 2 extra levels on No-Tail. Not where you really want to have him. And they're trying to pump up the spec, so they actually gave him the tome.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Get him to the level 20 perk. It's going to pump him up an extra 500 health when you have a Blade Mail. That's going to make a big difference.
Smoke gank on the way from OG. 4 heroes together. Spectral Haunt is back off cooldown, but Fnatic, they're together as 5. I do not see an opening here for OG. If they jump into this, that's going to be really problematic. Put the Observe Ward up. There's a Spectral Horn. S4 jumps in. They break the Link Spear, but Envy very quick onto the BKB. Turns his attention with the ET Splitter onto S4. GA has to be committed by No-Tail to keep S4 alive, but it's just way too much. Dispelled so quickly. DK is gone. He goes back up in towards the air, and he can't get down. He's actually trapped on the edge of the cliffside. A double kill for Arbed. Envy is unstoppable, and OG are in a real pickle. They do not have Seb for over a minute. No DK for 40 seconds. Still a top racks down, and now Aegis and Cheese will be claimed by Fnatic.
They felt like they had to go for that kind of an engagement. They're just being trapped inside their base. They bought back on their Spectre. They knew they needed to win a team fight there, or it just meant a surefire Aegis with the map control that Fnatic had. And the fight, they had relatively good initiation considering the circumstances of Fnatic sitting on the high ground, but that's exactly why they were there. They knew that OG had to do some desperation thing. Knowing that they had map control, they sat in the perfect position and forced OG to reach a little bit, going high ground and blinking aggressively. They used their skills perfectly on OG's side considering the circumstance, but they're just, the positioning and the farm level, everything was way too uphill for him. So now they've got to try to defend again.
Oh, Jirax, I love the attempt here. He stole one of the creeps, starts his TP out, the Shadow Poison will reveal him, and Jirax, he was just trying to play to win, just try and create some space. But not enough space could be created for this OG lineup. Spec is alive, but I'm wondering just how much can OG defend this Fnatic lineup. They have 1 buyback available, and that's on the Omni Knight.
And he's the only guy that's not dying. He's been sitting back very well, trying to save his allies, but
Now, the second that Dispel came with the DK, it's like, how do you save him? How do you protect from that?
yeah, picking the Omni into the Shadow Demon is a bit weird for sure. I mean, the Shadow Demon didn't seem to have a huge amount of purpose when he was grabbed in the draft, but...
And the Unknown had a lot, because his laning phase looked really, really good.
It did, but just these big ultimate saves like Guardian Angel to buy your ally basically a glyph for 6 to 8 seconds is a huge impact. And if that just gets instantly countered, like the guy that they want to kill is already going to be ultied by the Shadow Demon anyways. It just further makes that a worse problem.
DJ has an Aghanim Scepter on the ET.
Okay, that's new. That is a rare pickup. I don't think I've ever seen somebody buy this. It disarms for up to 6 seconds.
Well, that's going to hurt the DK and the Spec more than anybody else, because Latrak, at least he can do Pulse Nova, but that's it. Universe jumping over. Here comes Fnatic, wanting to secure themselves a top 4 position at the Dota Major, and those DPC points they desperately need. They must crack the OG base once more. Defensive lightning, defensive abilities. They have a couple. Here comes your E-Blade Blast. Only hits Durax, clipped in a half-life, but that Blade Mail is returning a chunk of damage. They need more regeneration onto Seb. They won't have it for the Omni-Knight, but there's your buyback. They sacrifice Notel, but as for the biggest sacrifice, he can't go down. BKB and Dragon form up. But right now, he looks like a baby dragon, not matured, not breathing fire yet. And OG, they're on the ropes. Eternal Envy, Notel jumps in trying to kill him, but he's just playing objective-based gaming. There's a fight going on around him. Now he'll join it because the Rax is being taken. Where is this kill gonna come? On the fly, E-bladed up, Crypt Swarm popped, the shotgun is effective. Omni-Knight will potentially die here, back into the safety of his own fountain. Eternal Envy is so low, they would love to jump out, but remember, he's still got the Aegis of the Immortal. Killing him, it feels impossible. And OG, this whole defense feels impossible. They run out with the spec. SD then just turns onto him. The jump in with Notel. They purify, but this is the last hurrah. Seb's Blade Mail wears off. He's dead for a long time, and this may just be the game. Notel will be the last big core to fall for OG. And Fnatic, they are really doing it. A double kill for him. GG, well played. Fnatic take the series 2-1, advancing to the ESL One Birmingham semi-finals, and most importantly as well, claiming that top 4 position at the Dota 2 Major. Points going to TIA.
Man, halfway through game 2, it just did not look very good for Fnatic, but man, they really proved that they deserved to win the series by the end of this game. That Shadow Demon pick completely put OG on the back foot. OG felt like they had to go with the Omni Knight as well to try to deal with the lanes that they were dealt with, but man, Pilot Ice play this game was amazing. Everybody on Fnatic played amazing this game.
Yeah, terrific draft, terrific execution. Fnatic, we were expecting this as well, but big props to OG. They came out in game 1, they performed really nicely, their rotations were great, their draft was to their comfort zone, but Fnatic, they stepped it up, and they stepped it up again here in game 3. A very deserving winner of the quarterfinal, and I gotta say, it has to be a huge relief for this Fnatic lineup. There's so much pressure on them, not attending the Super Major. They needed a fantastic result at this tournament, and they're on the right road to it.
Yeah, they're still gonna have to win their semifinals match to get to the top 2 placement. I think they need at least like a 2nd place for them to end up qualifying.
They'll have to go through Optic Gaming in order to get there.
So their road is still very hard, but this series showed a lot of promise. They had some diversity in their picking. They have a very effective Morphling player. They have lots of different strats and ways to abuse their enemies. It's been a really good series.
Yeah, that it has. Fnatic, terrific performance. They take the series 2-1, and we can throw the stage with Machine and hopefully the winners of the series.
Yes, thank you very much. I've managed to grab Universe. Give it up for Universe and Fnatic. Congratulations, dude, we're in the semi-finals. I just want your first your feelings about that match. You had to work for it. At one point, everyone was thinking this was going OG's way. You turned it around. What's your general vibe after that one?
Well, I just made it my goal to shut down the Spectre as much as possible. I knew Jackie was having a rough one down on the bottom lane, so I was just trying to even up the farm for him.
Yeah. Did a fantastic job. And a couple of questions just regarding the big picture now. You're in the semi-final. Top 4. And I think it's kind of general knowledge, I'm sure you're all too familiar with it, that grand final does make that TI dream very real. Does that put additional pressure on your shoulders now you're just so close, one best of 3 away?
It doesn't really put that much more pressure on me, because if we deserve to be at TI, we'll get there one way or another. So I'm not feeling that much more pressure. I just want to win a major, man, that's all.
Let me hear it! Not far away, not far away. And just, you know, on a personal level, you've had a pretty tough year. It's not been the easiest for you. You know, does it feel good to now have firm and full control of your destiny, of that chances of, say, winning a major, say, getting to TI again?
Yeah, it's always nice to be in control of, you know, whatever you're doing. So I hope we can do it.
Dude, you played fantastically. I will just shake your hand and say congratulations. Birmingham, you've been brilliant. Fnatic, you're champions in our second quarterfinal. We'll head over back to the desk.
Thanks very much, Alex. Thanks, Universe, and thank you to Fnatic. Well done. They do keep the dream alive, and they've been close, haven't they, a number of times already. Remember back to the playoff game against Spirit in the group stages, needed to win that one, got through 2-1, came to this game as well. For a game and a half, they were not looking good, but for the second game and a half, they've managed to secure their place in the semi-final. Keeps their dream alive, and as you said, you know, gents, you heard him say, he just wants to win a major. That's good focus, isn't it? Takes the pressure off the whole TIA point system.
Oh, for sure. I think it's one of those things where he's just looking at the immediate picture. If you let yourself get overwhelmed in the moment and you're thinking to yourself, this is for all the marbles, I think you're gonna lose yourself in that moment. But just being able to say, okay, I have yet to win a major in my career, because Universe has won a TI himself.
Yep.
I think this is the next big step for him. Congrats to them.
Yep. When we look back on this game, it was another grind.
Oh, absolutely.
We haven't seen what we were expecting, perhaps, from either team. We thought we might see some fireworks. We thought we might get the spectacular. We didn't get that, but we got some very good dozer along the way.
And I just love how these first couple of highlights jive so well with what Universe was saying in that interview. The pressure that Morphling was feeling down in that bottom lane, and Universe playing a critical role in this game, answering the pressure on the Spectre in the top lane. No, what you said, I quite frankly hated both these drafts. I picked the one that I thought was less awkward. There were a lot of really questionable plays in some of these games, but the biggest thing for Fnatic, okay, a principle of Dota to me is when in doubt, be aggressive. Fnatic, in far too many games, we've talked about it over and over on these panels, when they don't know what to do, they go farm. And in this series, when Fnatic didn't know what to do, when the games looked tough, they went and they hit towers. I think that's a huge, huge change for them, and I love what they showed in this game. Tomorrow's series against Optic, quite possibly for that last spot at TI.
Yeah, it's all shaken out quite well as far as the DPC is concerned. Those two teams just sitting outside the top 8, both have a chance of getting into the top 8. Before we get there though, Ted, what did you make of this series?
I want to apologize for my prediction being wrong.
Being right again?
Will was right.
Right.
I was wrong.
Okay.
And Alan was right as well.
I thought you were right though, Ted.
Well,
we'll fix it post.
I know. I remembered it being very good at predictions. But
Yes.
the reason was that it was a Boston Major when OG won it, and I just
Right.
backed them in every series. So I was like, yeah, OG, they win all the time, right? So yeah, different.
It was a good strategy.
Different time.
Didn't quite pay off though.
Indeed.
This time round. But nevertheless, Fnatic played really well, didn't they?
Oh, the most important thing is they never froze.
Yeah.
I feel like this team was very good in the moments. I also want to highlight, by the way, Envy, because I think a lot of the times when this team plays poorly or they lose, he gets a lot of flack. But in this game, it would have been very easy for him to have one of those games where everyone would just say, man, he was garbage, but he had a very tough laning phase.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of heroes that can go well in that laning phase. He was resilient, he came back, he farmed, he made the right moves. Great place to him.
Yeah,
I think the universe backing him up was important.
Yeah,
He's
and
kind of like,
absolutely,
yeah.
I think he, in many ways, Envy is the axle around which the team turns. So whatever he needs, they help him out. When he's on top, they play around him. So he's kind of like the focal point
Yeah,
for the team.
and Alan, on top of tough lanes, he was a bit bullied, frankly. I think OG may have, and I don't know, I'm just guessing because you see what they did in every game. It was very much they focused him. They put a lot of energy into killing him off in all of those 3 games. And maybe they thought, let's focus him, let's see if we can get under his skin, let's see if we can tilt him, get him out of the game, and then maybe we've got a way back into the game. And maybe that's a game plan. I don't know, I'm guessing. But if it was, then he had his teammates around him superbly this time.
Absolutely, and I think it's, again, you contrast this game with the first, and you know, Envy is on a Morphling that is getting pressured in both situations, but the big difference is that he's got a much more stable core playing around him in this game that's capable of outputting that consistent building damage. I mean, Fnatic, this was a tall ask for them. Their ability to fight with Exorcism down was really questionable in a lot of these situations, but you got great play from the 2 supports, a lot of pressure from the Night Stalker, and that's why they were able to make the most of those Exorcisms and do so much building damage.
Okay, we'll take a look at the Vodafone Play Faster moments, which takes us back to game number 2 between Fnatic and OG. Incidentally, it was the first blood in the game. It's not quite as spectacular as the first 2 days. I think we've been spoiled a little bit with the play faster moments of the day, but this was the first one, and the first blood going to Eternal Envy. So he's won something else today.
Yep, well done him. He's kind of a big deal.
There we go, the Vodafone play faster moment of the day. Let's check in with all the results today. We've had these 2 quarterfinals. First up, of course, a little earlier on, we saw Pain going through, and gents, I still think it's a magical tour that these boys are on. Fantastic results, not just today, but going back into the group stage, beating Liquid, and now beating Mineski as well, beating the TI winners and beating a major champion. It's an incredible. Can it go any further though with the semi-finals?
It is a brutal, brutal matchup for Pain Gaming. Probably the worst possible one for them in professional Dota. This has been a magical run for Brazil. I still believe, but they are going to be up late tonight figuring out a game plan against VP.
I think anytime you're going to face a team like this, from the position that Pain Gaming are in, I think you want to do it now. You don't want to wait to the final when the pressure is doubled, because not only is it VP, but it's the final. This way, you know, they kind of feel, well, we've got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
We made it semi-finals, we lost to VP. But I think this is the time for them to face them. If they do it, you can't doubt them.
Got a genuine shot of winning the whole thing with Will if they beat VP.
I mean, that would be something.
I think their playstyle actually matches up pretty well with VP. That's why it was
fast.
Yeah, I like the way that Pain plays right now. I think at the beginning of the day, I said I thought that they were going to win 2-1 against Mineski. I felt pretty confident about that prediction because I think this aggressive, don't care what happens style is. I mean, it comes with a lot of discipline at the same time. I feel like it suits them. It suits the meta right now, and it definitely suits this LAN.
Okay, just a reminder for you as well, the MVP vote by Mercedes-Benz is up and running. It is open right now. You can go and do your vote. If you've seen anything you think today stood out and changed your mind or made you think, yeah, that's the guy, that's the person I want to vote for. Has anyone stepped up in your world? I know you're still on the Pain train.
Oh, you don't even have to ask.
I don't even have to ask.
Viva Brazil.
Exactly, you're all over the Pain team. But Ted, who stood out for you today?
I haven't seen enough games really over the whole tournament to say, but
Sure.
Today I think DJ did well. I liked seeing him. But I mean, it's just little things I think in every game. I thought, like Universe said, the changes that he made to help out Envy. But so
it's such a beautiful, subtle game. Isn't
it
it?
is.
Sometimes you just have to
that
see
kind of thing
something.
can make all the difference. And I think sometimes we just look for the flashy plays, but you need to look for the sacrificial ones as well. So I think it's hard to pick a particular standout player.
All right. Well, thank you to all 3 of you.
Wow.
And it's been another fabulous day of Dota 2 action, but all things come to an end, unfortunately. So we are done for day number 3, first day inside the arena. I want to say a very big thank you to all the crowd that turned up today and supported the first ever UK Dota 2 Championship for a major. And I hope we see exactly the same back tomorrow and on Sunday, because we've still got 2 more days of Dota 2 action to come. With the semi-finals ahead tomorrow, it's going to be a cracker, as they say in Britain. We'll see you then.
Shell, silence as well as Magpie being laid down, but Jabs, he's ready to go forward. Gets the hook shot onto Duster. The McKay's there, but he's got the Dust to counter it. They've got the vision onto Duster. Duster will fall. That's going to be one down Tavo. He's rolled Mushi. HFN jumps forward. Mushi falling incredibly low. He's got the Astrals keeping him alive for a bit of time. Ice being focused by HFN. They'll turn back towards Mushi. Pain, they're taking down the OD. They'll jump forward, get the bash, take down Tide as well. Moon now sort of separated from the team. Tavo and HFN are making their way over to Moon. Pain Gaming, they're letting Weehaw finish off the Disruptor. They've taken 3. HFN's in onto Moon. Gets the bash through the BKB. That'll be Moon gone. The old Simoneski, they can look to pounce straight away. In they go, immediately looking for the burst, but the self-fuels is there. We are alive for now. Look at HFN just going over the Battle Fury, punching through the wall. That's going to be Ice gone. There's no chance for a primal split. This fight, Jab goes for the song. Do they really want to stick around for this fight? Mushi, he looks like he wants to, but there's the Power Strike. He's got the control into the Infernal Blade. The silence, that's the Mushi like and gone. He hit the side, Moon. He'll fall as well, surely. As Dusty King out here, we are beat him down. That's 4 dead on Mineski. Ninja Boogie, the last one alive here. I mean, they went for the song. They stuck around. He's going to go as well.
protect him. The Nova is in the back line, so there is no retreating for Fnatic once they all want to get stunned, which is exactly what happens. They lock it in, turn on the sun, and now Universe will burn. He cannot pull anybody out. He was silent, so there was no escape. Maybe Eternal Envy's able to do it. Strength Wolf up everything he's got, but it's still not enough. One charges are available. The Bear is hovering right behind him. The Sleight of Fist make it difficult to move forward, but now they just walk it up. The Dragon Tail stun connects. Eternal Envy rooted to the ground, brought down, and now it's Arbez's turn. Feared up. They bring in the extra help. A quick Sleight of Fist. The back down again to the Storm Wall. Eternal Envy, he gets into the trees. Will he survive? It's the Crimson Guard that arrive, but it's not going to be enough. Retreat back out again as Dusa moves forward. They'll take the tower. There's your glimpse. This is that punishment I was talking about. The Disruptor is so good at, and it's Arbez, the big super. Go home.
Nichols catapult is going to go for the the Glyph it.
No. The Glyph actually keeps it. Defensive lightning, defensive abilities. They have a couple. Here comes your E-Blade Blast. Only his Durax took down a half-life, but that Blade Mail is returning a chunk of damage. They need more regeneration onto Seb. They won't have it for the Omni Knight, but there's your buyback. They sacrifice No Tail, but as for the biggest sacrifice, he can't go.